each one of these things is sort of give you just a very brief introduction to uh, Python coding and the levels of abstraction. So what do I mean by this? I mean, so first you have data types, right? How is it that data is saved in a computer? How do you manipulate data? That's definitions of variables. Then there was control flow. How is it that you could interact with these variables, define these variables, and how do you control the flow of where the program goes to and how the logic works. Okay, that's another level of abstraction. Then the next one was functions and how you can use procedures or functions to manipulate code and what the value is of how you could use those functions. The next level of abstraction and the highest level of abstraction is objects. Okay, you want to understand what an object is and how you could use first thing. Oh yeah, yeah. How you could use functions and then variables, and that already includes a decent level of abstraction right there. You could really use that in very complicated ways. But then there's even a higher one, which is just objects in general. So let's go through what is object-oriented programming, right? So what this basically means is that you could just simulate any object, really, and an object is pretty broad. So here I've created code that simulates the idea of a lion, okay, and what you can do with a lion. So how you define an object is you write class lion, and it literally creates a lion for you. Let's erase that and let's see if I did this correctly. So now I wanna make a variable like I said originally, right? So now I have that I'm making a lion. So when I do that, I have X saved to a certain lion, but I actually need to define certain things. I need to define its weight. So let's say, I don't know, how much does a lion weigh? I think a lion weighs about 400 pounds. Anyways, okay, and the color says, I don't know, tan, whatever. Okay. And okay, so now I'm just making sure that this worked because I didn't check it, so I should always check it. So let's see. Oh, because I need. What did I do wrong here? Lion initially takes 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. Takes 2 positional arguments, but 3. So you see, there's 2 here, but because I need to define self. Ugh, this is not gonna make any sense, but okay, you guys won't see. Wait, still not working. Now what did I do wrong? Lion roar takes 0 positional arguments, but 1 was given. Let's see. So am I gonna have to make a new video? So let's see, what am I doing wrong here? Oh, this needs self. There we go. That's why. Oh, no. Weight is not defined. What is weight? Where is weight not defined? And name weight is not defined. Oh, self weight. Let's see. Oh, I got it. It all works. You see? Takes some time, but yeah, this is the idea, right? So you guys are sitting here watching me figure out how to do this and how to explain this like real time and like getting through how to debug or just basic problem solving, right? I had to sit here and I had to figure out, wasn't sure what it was that went wrong. It gave me a bunch of errors. Now I've tested this code. Okay, so now what have I done here? Let's go back. Forget about the fact that I didn't test this and needed to figure out how to get everything to work. But okay, so now what is happening here? So what I did was I created an object. I called that object lion. So this is not me creating a lion. This is me creating the idea of a lion. Okay, and that's actually like this is why it's so interesting to me, because the level of abstraction you need to understand to just build these concepts is high, and it's useful. The higher the level of the abstraction, the more creativity you can use. So what am I doing? Okay, I'm not creating an initial lion here. What I'm doing is I'm creating a concept of a lion, a template for a lion, and it now when I go and I say DEF, right? This stands for initialize. So don't worry about what self means, but now this next input value, the weight. So every lion that I create has to have a certain weight, and every lion that I create has to have a certain color, and that's me initializing when I create this lion. Okay, and then every lion is going to be able to do something. This is another thing. This is called a method when we have it. This is a class, and then there's two things inside the class. This is an object. I've created a lion or a class. The object that I'm creating here is lion. Every single lion needs to have a weight, and every single lion needs to have a color. Every single lion can do this, can roar, okay? You can create a whole bunch of other things that a lion can do, okay? Eat you, okay? And then literally print the lion has just eat you, okay? And now look, so yeah, every single lion that you make is gonna have a weight, a color, and then it can do things. So it can roar or it could eat you. This initial one is immediately set. You don't need to use it. Yes, ma'am. Oh my God, you got goggles?
Yeah,
Wow, so cool.
wanna go pool?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the pool. Tell mommy to put on your bathing suit.
Okay.
Go, go, go. Okay. So that was very relevant to Python coding. Anyways, okay, now back to here, guys. Sorry. Again, you have some object that you're creating. You could make any object, and then basically what you have inside here are what the object can do. Whatever I did there. Okay, what the object can do. These are the things that, first of all, it's going to have attributes like weight and color, and you could sit here and go on about the attributes, the characteristics of that thing. It could have a weight, it could have a color, it could have a size, it could have teeth, how sharp they are. I don't know, whatever, everything that goes into making a lion, the eyes, whatever it is, those are attributes. Then there's methods, things that the object can do, like roar, okay, or like eat you, or like whatever. And you could sit here and they're all defined the same way, an attribute and a method. But now let's go through how it is that we use this. So you can make a variable, and you could make that variable have that object, okay? So it could be 400 pounds, and then the color could be tan. Or you can make another lion, right? I'm making another lion, but this one's larger, and then let's just say that its color is pink, and it doesn't matter, okay? Now I've made two lions, okay? But with the same template. You see, this is the template that I used, okay? It's just that the two lions have a different weight and a different color. And now you click run, and it doesn't do anything. It just made the two lions. But each lion, you can see, look, x dot, and this is just me referring to that variable x, the lion x, and I could refer to its weight, and it's 400 pounds. But I could refer to the weight of the second lion, y, and it's 500 pounds. Okay? And I could sit here and I could make a whole bunch of different lions, okay? And that's the value. You could sit here, you create all the lions you want. And if you have lions or whatever it is, apples or whatever you want to model, hotel rooms, you want to model buildings, right? You want to model a building, you could literally put building here. And then you could go through all the different characteristics that you need for your building. The vacancy, right? And you could sit here and you could define all these methods and then change each one. So for instance, I could make another lion, of course, but that's irrelevant. And I could literally make it roar. I can make any of these two lions roar. I could say roar, okay? And then let's see what happens. Oh, wait. So I don't need this argument in here. Let's see. Yeah, so I didn't need that, so I roared. A 400-pound lion, and then I don't need to print the weight of the second one. Look, right? A 400-pound lion roar, okay? Because it's 400 pounds, right? I did this method. I printed this method for x. X, it's saying, go to this lion and make it roar. And then it uses this method here. And this is like, I mean, if you could understand this general idea behind what you could do with an object, it's basically literally you're simulating the object inside the computer. Okay, what is object-oriented programming? It's the idea, it's just orientating programming around the idea of simulating objects and how they interact with each other. Okay, that's object-oriented programming to me. Now, on a side note, you could sit here and I could go like this. Now, what is object-oriented programming? Let's see what they say and see how well it is that I understood this to be. That uses objects to design applications. In object-oriented, an object is an instance of a class, which is what we just said. Okay, what are the four fundamental concepts? Encapsulations, practices, private methods. I did a better job at explaining it. It's just basically the idea of, okay, yeah, and then you can inherit things. This is all way too much for us to understand the basic idea. Okay, so let's see if I can get it to give me a more basic idea. What is the basic idea of, and I'll abbreviate because now it knows that I'm talking about object-oriented programming. What is the basic idea? Let's see what it says. It's to break down a programming task into objects that are integrated. Yeah, an object is a component of a program that knows how to perform certain actions to interact with other elements of the program. Right. So, yes. Okay. Objects are the basic units of and represent real-world entities. This is the idea. You're abstracting the idea of an object into the computer. Okay. And then you're seeing how that object is going to interact with other objects. Like in my code, I could make another class. I could call it a tiger, and then I could interact how tigers and lions, or I don't know, gazelle, right? And I could interact with how a gazelle and a tiger or a lion will interact with one another. Okay, this is the general idea. This is the general level of abstraction, and that's what's important to understand, because then you can come up with your own creative idea to do this. Okay, all right. Now let's see. How are objects defined? With class, okay, you write the class and then you just go from there. Okay, what does the int? It means initialize. You're initializing certain conditions for the object that you're creating. Like in this case, the only thing that was initialized was a weight and a color. Don't worry about what self means; it's too complicated to go through. But though basically you initialize the 400, the weight of the lion, and this here. If I put in another thing here, another thing, I don't know, size, something, whatever it is that, whatever other attributes a lion could have, you could put that in, and then that would be initialized. Okay, create an object of your own and define initial attributes to it. Okay, you're definitely going to have to try and use this as your template. Try and get this done. It's not so easy to understand how it is that this all fits together, but what is important is that you really understand the value, or what is object-oriented programming, and what is the value. Okay, the value is just what is object-oriented programming. It's the idea that you simulate the object inside your computer, and the value is that this can really become abstract, and you have full creative freedom to defining whatever you want into the computer, and then utilize the computer speed and analysis to construct it back into the real world. Like create lists and vacancy in hotels, maximizing profit and revenue and inventory, right? You don't have to keep a ledger. You can just do this all on a computer, right? And when you scan something from the grocery store doesn't have to actually sit there and keep a ledger of all the things that it sold. It immediately goes into a computer that's simulating the inventory and the entire store as a whole, and it immediately knows that that individual thing has been sold, right? Extremely powerful idea, all right?